Energy. It's all over the news at the moment, with scientists on the hunt for renewable alternatives. Now, an intriguing chin-strap energy harvesting device has been developed by researchers in Canada, which uses a smart material to generate electrical energy whenever the wearer chats or chews. I spoke to Jérémy Voix, an associate professor at the University of Quebec in Montreal, to find out more about how it works.
Well, this is really a proof of concept that we did recently and successfully using a strap that would be typically under a helmet, a safety helmet or any kind of headgear. And within that strap, we embedded what we call PFC, that stands for piezoelectric fiber composites. And they are really piezoelectric components that would generate an electrical charge or some voltage, some electricity, when they are put under tension. So what we did is really had a test subject wearing such a device, and just by moving the jaw and having some opening and closed jaw movement from the chewing and from the eating, we could see that we were able to indeed harvest some energy locally.
So in your study, I believe you were having participants chewing on chewing gum whilst wearing one of these stylish headgears. Could you tell me a bit more about the methods you carried out?
So during the study, we actually had some earmuffs that were equipped with a band strap, that was a chin strap, so that was really going under the chin. And we asked those participants to chew some gum for a limited time. So that was a few minutes of their time. And we were able to see that there was definitely, at each jaw movement, there was definitely some power being harvested. And we could obviously, store that energy in some charging devices. And the chin is actually not under a big constraint, because in the article we show actually that the optimal stress for the chin strap is not necessarily to be very tight.
Can you tell me the kind of numbers we're talking about here? Is this going to be enough power to charge a hearing device?
No, so here the powers are definitely on the low range, and we are really speaking about microwatts in our paper. But this is really because for two good reasons. So one thing is that those PFC fibers that we use are not necessarily optimized for the kind of use that we intend. And the second one is that we really had just one layer of those PFC fibers, and you can imagine this is very, very thin. And obviously, if we want to really be serious on the energy side, we would, stack a few of them and have obviously a few layers of those PFC fibers.
What kind of devices is this planning to power?
You may realize that wearable devices is the big trend, and there are more and more connections. We are more and more connected to our electronic devices through different means. And obviously, when you have something on the head, so either for the ears, because you may want to have some digital earplug or some smart communication devices, or some let's say hearing aids or cochlear implants or whatever. Or if this is, for the eyesight and you need something like night vision or some virtual reality screens and so on, display, you may need some extra power that would be actually locally available rather than brought up through cables and batteries.
So evidently this is a way of making energy that's not only more environmentally friendly, it means you don't need to mess around changing batteries. But can I ask, would people want to wear these?
No, that's true. So there is definitely a place, I would say a niche for those applications for a more consumer market. For them, I can imagine that to some extent maybe a ski adept would enjoy having the ability to hear some of his music while recharging with his safety gear. I'm not too sure yet that cyclists and so on do have so much jaw movement during the day. Because you're usually, cycling on your own, not necessarily talking or chewing.
Yes, unless you're talking to yourself, I guess you're not going to be generating as much energy. So, in the future, if you've got a co-worker that is a right old chatterbox, then why not put their continuous chit-chat to good use? Invest in a chin strap device and get free electricity for the entire office.